So this is a Jamb question. This is a physics Jamb question, and it is very important if you understand this question. So let's solve this question together. Please, I want you to pay attention to this. To this lecture, a car traveling with a uniform velocity of 30 meters per second along a horizontal road overcome a constant frictional force of 600 Newton. Are we together? So calculate the power of the engine of the car. Now, in this question, they are asking us to calculate the power of the engine's car, I mean the car's engine, the car's engine. So now, and the car is moving with uniform velocity. Uniform velocity. Note that word, uniform velocity. So now, the velocity, which is what? Which is 30 meter per second, and then the frictional force. Now, before I write down the frictional force, now the force we are going to use is the force of the engine. The force of the engine. Are you getting me now? But in this case, they gave us the frictional force. But this car is moving with uniform velocity. Do remember that during friction, maybe do you know friction very well? You must understand this before start solving it. So in friction, the frictional force will be equal to the applied force. The frictional force, let me say in this case, this frictional force will be equal to the force of the engine if the body is moving with uniform velocity or the body is standing itself. The frictional force, the frictional force of any body is equal to the applied force if that body is moving with uniform velocity when not accelerating. If the body is accelerating, that means that the applied force now is greater than the limiting frictional force. So now we're going to use this frictional force as the force of the engine because we are asked to calculate the power of the engine. So we're going to use the force of the engines and the velocity the engine is using to drive this car. I hope you are getting this thing now. So we're going to use this frictional force as the force of the engines because the limiting frictional force, which is this frictional force, is equal to the force engines because they are moving at uniform velocity. So now, this limiting frictional force or frictional force is not limiting frictional force. So because the car is already moving with uniform velocity. So now it is now called dynamic frictional force. Dynamic frictional force. So this frictional force will now be equal to the force of the engine. So now the power. We have different formula to power. You know, power is energy per time. The energy you used per time or the work done per time. Power is equal to what? Work done over time. What is work done? Work done is equal to what? Force times parallel distance. Distance in the direction of the force. Force times what? Times t over t. So in this case, we can also derive another formula because this s over t is equal to the what? Is equal to velocity or speed. So force times what? Times speed, s over t. That's another formula. We also have half mv squares all over t. Half mv squares is what? Is kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. All over what? All over t. And then what again? mgh all over t. So this one is what? Is the power. This half mv square is a power a body possessed when moving. This one is a power a body possessed when is at height to the ground. Okay, now when the body is at height or a position to the ground, the power the body possessed is what? Is mgh all over time. We also have the electrical power, which is what? Which is IV. Are you getting me now? IV. This one is for current. This one is for what? It's for voltage. We also have I square R. I square R. I square R. Also for power. So in this case, I just digress to this. So the one we want to use now is the what? Is the force we have been given and the velocity, which is what? Which is Fv. So our power will now be what? Fv. which is what? The F, the frictional force, 600 times what? Times velocity, which is 30. 30. So what's that now? That will now be what? That will now be 18,000. 18,000 watts. So 18,000 watts now, this one is too much. We're going to reduce it. That will be 18 because this 1,000 is what? Is kilo. 1,000 is kilo. So that will now be kilowatt. Very simple, like ABC, 2.5 mark in your Jamb.